All right, so just be going over some markets. On the weekly, we see we're at resistance. On the daily, on the ES, on the daily, there's a reversal bar here that's pretty strong. So that's the biggest price volume in 27 bars right there. The damage that was done, 27 bars. So that's a lot. I think that's a lot. All right, and you have some selling. You have the up thrust position because it did go in an up thrust position right here, up, down, took out the low, tested, and then break. And where did it go to? Right into this demand area. So we'll see if this demand area can hold or not, or whether it's going to first go to the resistance here. So 4180 is where I'm taking a look for sells. 4180 on the ES and seeing, or a little bit above, like around that 4180 area. I want to see how it reacts. Yeah, there's a breakdown, but I think it's going to take out the breakdown and go to this area right here, the 4180. I want to see how it reacts there, and then we'll see. Also on the 4-hour chart, that selling bar today was the biggest bar in over 100 bars. It's not trivial. That number is not trivial, all right? Because it means that all of this contraction was actually distribution and then selling. So that's my take on it. I see all of these bars, all that contraction followed by expansion is actually distribution followed by selling pressure. And using the news to create the sell right after this breakout, distribute, sell. Where did it stop? Right in this demand area. And we have to see if that area holds. Right now it did hold and it's creating the bounce, but how much of a bounce, if it's going to get retested and all that, we don't know. We just know that the levels 4180 short and 4107 is where the demand came in, around that 4107 to 4180. All right, on the ES. All right, next up, crude. Crude is in a downtrend, and it's actually in a really important area. So we'll see how it reacts here. I thought it was going to hold because of this demand, but it was only temporary, and it just got sold off. So crude was sold off. I'm taking a look at 75s, around the 75 area for the sell. If it goes back into that area, because you have a very clear breakdown. You have this brick here, which is all this volume, and now it's been taken out, which means there's a lot of stuck longs, and looking for that bounce into that 75 area. All right, you had some. That's about it. So just take a look at that bounce. And on the 4-hour chart, the biggest selling in 100 bars. So it's very meaningful and very highly likely that once it goes back there, the contraction before the expansion was distribution, and it's going to sell off. If it goes back and tests, the likelihood is quite high, because from that area, look at the selling pressure. The biggest, how you gauge selling pressure, one way to do it, obviously you can use volume, but you can also use the range, and you can then get a statistic. So if you see the biggest bar in 100 bars down, that's selling. And you'll see, like over here, anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that, but here, for example, this was a lot of buying pressure that came. And that buying pressure, all it did was set up the short. So that's also a lot of buying pressure, but it was enough to take the market higher into a sell area from where distribution or redistribution occurred to sell. And very important, the difference between this heavy buying and this heavy selling is the follow-through. Follow-through legitimizes the breakouts and the breakdowns. And that's about it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at look for the test because this legitimate breakdown. So at least I view it that way. And then it goes up to that 75 area. So we'll take a look for the short there on crude. All right. Gold on the daily was just going at hugging resistance, and there was a shortening of thrust on the daily, pulled back, went sideways, and now we have a reversal attempt. And that reversal attempt on the biggest volume in 15 bars and the biggest thrust going up, biggest thrust up in 9 bars. So it legitimizes the move. You have thrust, price, and volume. And so, I mean, it looks bullish to me on gold. So what am I doing here? I'm looking for pullbacks. Where am I looking for pullbacks? Into the demand area. Where's the demand? As you can see, oh, 1 second. See, they actually bought well in advance. You see this? That's the biggest volume in 100 bricks. Then again, they bought. You see? So they were accumulating against these lows. This area is like accumulation city. Goes down here, buy it. Goes down here, buy it. So, you know, once you see that, the chances are very high that it's accumulating at support. And now you have this demand area. And this bar is the biggest bar in 9 bars right here. Then the biggest in 29. Comes back, reaccumulates, breakout. Now we'll look for a test of the breakout. So around the 2000 area, right below the 2000 area for gold, there's enough, you know, because this break took out 1, 2, 3, 4 highs. It took out 4 highs, and it's an expansion. So I think, you know, just wait for the pullback, and we're going to get a pullback. You will see. So now there's heavy volume at 1990, but I don't think it's going to get that low. It might go to 2000 area or, what the hell is this? 20, right under 2010. So 2000, 2010, we'll see the pullback test there, and then a react. That's what I'm looking for. So on gold, move down to near that 2000 area and then a reversal. Other than that, I mean, the moves were occurring. You see this on the 15-minute? The moves, the change of behavior, the change of character, sign of strength, blah, blah, blah. You know, it happened here. They came back, held, reaccumulated, and this was it. Boom, right here. This is very important. Why? Because it's if it works, the likelihood of this high being taken out is very high, right? So it's a nice reward if you're targeting the highs. So it's very likely it's going to do that. You know, like this one here, this change of behavior took out that high, and then puked. Then this change of behavior occurred, came back, reaccumulated. Did a spring, another change of behavior. What are you going to do? Look at the prior high, and bang, takes that out. Now it's moving sideways. I don't know what's going to happen. What I do know is the 2000, right under 2000 is a very nice area to see what's going to happen. One thing I don't like is if you take a look at the daily in gold, right? You see this selling over here? From a bearish perspective, the breakout attempt failed, and it was actually a shortening of the thrust here on 4/13, on April 13. And that was followed by the biggest price volume thrust in 22 bars. All right, so that means that there are sellers there. So now it came back, did a little spring, went sideways, and thrust it up, and demand came in. But they haven't taken out those highs yet, so it's another. I'll show you where it is. It's right there. You see that? That biggest volume in 1992, whatever. Let's see. That one right there. Shit, that's a lot of pressure right there. 2057. That's where the selling came from. So yeah, I think it wants 2050 or 2040, you know. Right, like that area. So anyway, all right, so take care, bye.